Hola, hello, hi. It's Kathy and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a tutorial really for beginners. But if you're interested in a refresher, stick around. I'll be making this journal. It's 8.5 by around 4 1/4. Has 1.5 inch spine. Has removable signature with an elastic closure and 2 signatures. Today we'll be completing the base and then we'll decorate it in our second video. Okie doke. Well, let's get started. Here's the materials that you will need. First, you'll need 2 pieces of craft board. I use relatively thick craft board, or if you want to make a softer cover, you can use any sort of box, cardboard. And you need 2 pieces of craft board at 4 1/4 by 8 1/4. You need 1 piece of craft board for the spine at 1.5 by 8.5. You need double-sided tape. I don't know where I put my double-sided tape. And you need a hole punch, elastic, eyelets, 2 pieces of 12 by 12 cardstock, a paper trimmer, and scissors. So I'll put that there for a moment. Here's my tape. Okie doke, let's get started. First, I'm going to cut the craft board down to 4 1/4. And I do it on the horizontal side. And I always just use my cutter. It does dull your blade, so be prepared. I go back and forth on one side, turn it over, do the exact same thing on the other side. And that gives me a nice clean cut. Going to do it again. The nice thing about the size of this journal is you can get everything out of 1 piece of craft board. So I have 2 pieces at 8.5 by 4 1/4. I'm not going to use the leftover because I had leftover from another piece. This is 1.5 by 8.5. I'm going to go ahead while I still have my cutter out. I'm going to pick the paper I'm going to use, the cover and the inside. This is DCWV Butterflies and Flowers Premium Stack. I actually got this at Tuesday morning before they went out of business by me, so I don't have them anymore. I really miss having them around. I'm not sure what color I want. I kind of like this darker color for the cover. Let's see. Let's take it out just in case. That's kind of pretty too. See what else we've got. It's a little too big. This one's pretty, too much white in it. Ooh, I like this one. I like this one, and I actually like this for the inside. So that'll be fun. I'm gonna put this one back. And just gonna see how big I have to make this. If it's 8 1/4, I'm sorry, 4 1/4 and 4 1/4. It's 4 1/4, 4 1/4. That's 8 1/2 plus 1 1/2 is 10. Then I'm not going to cut it until after I have everything placed because I want some overlap. So that makes it easy, doesn't it? I do just want to cut off the top edges by the hole, by the punch. The hole punched out already. I won't need that. And that. Okay. So we can put our cutter away. I'm going to tape this together first, and then I'll put tape all over it to adhere it to the paper. Let me get a ruler just so I can make sure it's lined up in a straight line. Luckily, my mat has a grid. Okay, that'll do it. And I really just want to get those stuck together. And in order to cut it, the double-sided tape, because this, oh, it tore. That's fine. And I'm going to do that at the top as well. Whoop. Okay. And that's a little farther apart than I'd like, but that'll be okay. You want to keep it like 1/8 of an inch apart. Okay. What you want to do with your bone folder, I didn't ask you to take out a bone folder, but you want to make sure that you put that tape in the in between the craft board in the fold line. And at first, when you first start out, this part seems overwhelming, but it really isn't. I'm actually going to trim these. There I go. I love, if you ever watch Rosa Kelly's channel, I love to watch her. She's like a master with double-sided tape. Okay. I'm going to take off these bottom pieces first. Just like that. And I am going to add one more piece to this spine area, just to reinforce it a bit. On both sides. Okie doke. Okay. Let me throw away all this trash. I have a little trash can attached to my table. Makes it easier. Now I'm going to take the piece of paper. And flip this over. Lay this out, hopefully correctly. And again, I'm trying to give it some space all the way around. Just like that. I want to flip it over, and I want to gently, well, actually the folds are going to go this way. Gently get it to fold for you, to open and close. And make sure when you place your craft board down that you leave that space between, you know, that 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch between the pieces so it can fold. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to put sticky tape on this side as well. And this time, I'm just going to tear it across. Again, go in with my bone folder and make sure that the tape is going inside the folds. See how that? Not going to worry too much about those. Just a little bit. I want to make sure it's taped as best that I can tape it. Let me go over again. Okay, now let's do this. This is the most tedious part of journal making, obviously. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold up the ends, kind of get them used to where they're going to be folded. And because I already have the tape on, I'm going to do it like this. And one last one to go. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I want to trim it, particularly the corners. I'm going to go right up close to that corner. And I like to do a little round, little scoopy. You don't have to, you can clip straight across. But I like to do that because it gives it a tighter edge at the end when you go to fold it. Now normally I could trim this off and make it all even, but I'm not going to do it. Okay, I usually fold in the sides first, but you can do it, you don't have to do that. What you want to do is on the very corners, you want to make sure that you crease that so when the bottom folds up, you don't get a pointy part at the end. Now I'm going to need some tape on this side. And I'm actually going to, I'm just going to put it, let's see. Let me see. Actually going to use glue. Grab my glue. It'll just be a little easier. And I don't have to put any more tape on it. Okay. Now the other side. Again, make sure there's a crease for the corners if you need to put it there. And cover that right up. Get me my wet wipe. And now you have it this part anyway of your cover. Next thing you're going to do is we're going to put in the centerpiece. And I'm going to cut that down right where my finger is. I'm not a measurer. But I will tell you the measurements. I want to make sure. And take off another little squinge. And this was 8.5 and 1.5. That was 10. So I'll make it to this dot here. Whoop, I lost the dot. Let's see. We can save this for pockets for later. Okay, first thing I want to do is go around the edges of this. Because we have the glue in the center, or the double-sided tape in the center. But we need this on the edges. Looks good to go. And let's make sure. I'm going to put more tape under, glue under here. Wait a few moments for it to dry. What you have to be careful with, that your paper cracks. And I see this paper cracked right down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to add some, I had two choices. I can, put like a binding, which I might do. This needs to dry first. Or I could add some lace. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, because obviously it cracked on both sides. Just like that. So let me think what I can do here. I'm going to try, I don't know if it'll work, because this could also crack because it's the same paper. But I'm going to try using this like almost a corner protector. And how come that's one is bigger? Oh, it's like this. And I'm going to take my scoring board . And these are just things you run into when you're making a journal. Things are going to, stuff's going to happen, as we say. So I'm going to score this. How come this isn't an inch? Huh. Did I cut it uneven? I'm going to score it at a 1/2 inch regardless. Maybe this was the inch. Yeah. This was the excess. No. and a half an inch. I'm going to add that right over there. Perfect. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, even though there's no cracking there, but I'm sure there will be. Okie doke. Now I'm just going to glue it up. It's a great thing about paper crafts. You can always make mistakes or something could go wrong, but you can always fix it. And I anticipate that I'll be adding lace on this later. Covers up the imperfections. Whoops. Whoopsie. Just like that. Add some more glue. Because it's telling me it doesn't want to stay down. It wants to go on its own way. How dare it? Same thing over here. Okay. Inside still needs more glue as well. Okay. It's just not wanting to stick. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the hole punch the holes for the eyelets and for the elastic that will hold the signature in place, and the hole that will we'll be using for the closure. Okay. And I need to get some eyelets. And I have some here, so I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eyelets. Whoop, that was a lot. 3, 4, 5. Everything's trying to run away today. I don't understand. And I'm also going to cut my elastic. And I took some generous pieces. I hope it's enough. These are probably, let's see what they are. They're about 24 inches each. That's probably going to be too much, but we'll see. So the first thing I do is figure out where I'm going to punch the holes. And I'm going to take a ruler. I'm going to come up. I'm going to come up just a ½ an inch from the bottom. And then I'm going to draw a line across the top. And a ½ an inch from this side. Okay. Take my hole punch, and I have a Memories Keeper hole punch, which needs to be cleaned. Okay. And I'm just going to eye it. I'm going to put it on either side of this extra little binding that we put there. One's going to go there, and one's going to go there. And that'll hold each of 2 signatures. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. That way I know it'll be lined up with the bottom. As much as possible. Actually, I do need one more eyelet. I needed 6, but, oh no, I just needed 5. Okay, and then I'm going to put a hole here in the center. It'll hold the elastic for our closure. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is put the eyelets in. Oh, before I do that, let me erase my lines. Okay. So we'll put an eyelet down here. Don't be intimidated by putting eyelets in. You know, your first couple won't work. But I said this in another video. I got better at doing them when I ignored what the paperwork told me and just went with my gut. You know. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. It's funny because I was watching Nick the Booksmith, and she was just, you know, putting in these eyelets, and like, gosh, she's so easy. It's so easy when she does it. And then I said, I can do that. That's when I started doing them, you know, just going with my gut. Okay, we have all the eyelets in, and we have the base for our journal. Now, I'm going to close up my glues because I don't need those. And take my elastics. I'm simply going to go down through the bottom, up through the top on the same size. And this was too much, way too much elastic, so you could probably go with around 18 inches. I'm going to put it in. I'm not going to put it very tight now because I don't have the signatures yet. Just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and clip it because I think they'll be fine. Do the same one here. And what's nice about using elastic is you can remove the signatures, especially if you're making one for yourself, a journal for yourself. You know, when you're done and you like, maybe you like your cover an awful lot, you're done with your signatures, you can just remove it and put in another signature. So it's like almost like a traveler's journal. And you see, I made it rather loose. I can always tighten it up. That's how it looks on the outside. And then for this one, I'm simply going to go in with 2. And then I'm going to pull it, because what you want to happen is you want to be able to close it over whatever decorations you've made on the front. And without your signatures in, sometimes it's hard to figure out, you know, did I make it thick enough? I just take these 2 pieces and tie them in a knot, 1 knot. Making sure I'm not pulling too much from the outside. Just like that. And just like that. And it's loose now, but once we put the signatures in, it'll be a little tighter. And so we've finished making the base of our journal. And I don't know if you'll want me to show you how to make these little gem things. They're kind of fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Join me for the next one, and we'll be making the signatures and doing a little bit of decorating. Okie doke. Thanks, and have a great day. Oh, and if you like the video, I'd love for you to hit the like button, and I'd also even like more if you're not a subscriber to subscribe to my channel. Thanks, and have a great day. Bye.